Hello! Read it here. Today we're going to read a story from our /entitled parents. Now, for our first story. Entitled mom thinks I, the delivery driver, should tip her. On mobile, so if things go wonky, my attorney is accepting calls. After never dealing with an entitled parent in my life, I've now had two in the span of a few months. Normally a foul mouth, but I'll keep things clean for our / and others. So I am a delivery driver for major food delivery company in major college town in Texas where everyone loves maroon. Normally, it's not bad, pays pretty well, and customers are generally fine, though you'll always have idiots in every service job. This, however, surpassed anything I'd ever experienced before. I get an order alert on my phone, relatively simple but expensive order. We drivers love expensive orders from a restaurant nearby. In a portion for delivery instructions, the customer explains that I need to call her once I arrive, as ringing the doorbell, as I normally do, would disturb her autistic son. Okay, no problem at all. I received therapy for sensory issues when I was a kid, so I'm going to be even more sympathetic to that than the average person. I receive the order and drive over to the house, nice part of town, and give the customer a call. The younger woman answers, tells me to come up to the door. I do so, and enter the EM, who, strangely, was fairly attractive and did not have the typical Karen haircut. EM equals enraged marmalade. Me equals the muffin man. NSL equals nice support lady. Me, here's your order, ma'am. Is there anything else I can help you with today? Ing? Yes. My son is autistic, and people like you don't understand how difficult it is to raise him. I shouldn't have to pay this much for food. Can you give me a discount? Me, baffled. I'm sorry, ma'am, but the app calculates your order total, not me. It's already been paid for. The EM did not like that answer. Her face changed from a smug smirk into a snarl. I suppose I didn't realize how ridiculous the idea that people pay for their own food is. EM, well, why don't you pay for it then? I'm not sure if you heard, but my son is autistic, and it's your fault that he's still hungry. Me, I'm sorry, ma'am, but that goes against our policy. If I paid for your order, I'd probably be fired. EM, good. You're a useless driver anyway. You're disgusting. My son is starving to death. Since I've had to go through so much trouble with you should tip me. My app has a setting that while you're in the process of taking an order to a customer, they'll assign you another one at the same time if there's activity. Thankfully, this saved me here. Me, can't do that, man. Here's your order. I dropped the food gently on the ground between us and jogged back to my car. She was shouting something unintelligible, so much for not disturbing her autistic son, but I couldn't make out what she was saying. Unsurprisingly, she gave me a 1-star review. You tip online, so I got a small tip. I contacted support about it the next day. Me, yeah, I had a crazy lady yesterday, started demanding that I pay for her order and even that I tip her. Really rude. Not sure what the deal was. Oh, I knew what the deal was. That's why I'm here. NSL, which order was it? Me, it was order number, ad address. NSL, yikes, you're the third person to complain about her. 1 or 2, we take with a grain of salt, but 3, you're probably out. I'll try to get her deactivated. If so, her review will be off your record. Me, thanks. Appreciate it. I feel like the entire world is better off now that she won't get deliveries from us anymore. But was the cost worth it? That remains to be seen. Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. I can imagine she calls again. The fuck do you mean you no longer will serve me? Comment 2. I kind of think her son wasn't autistic. I had a mild heart attack when I logged on, and my karma jumped this much. Also spent 5 minutes thinking of a way to say this without sounding like a thought. Now, for our second story. Crazy entitled aunt in the Italian restaurant. This happened almost 40 years ago. I'm posting it as a thanks for reading the other stories. This one is more funny and entitled rather than infuriating and entitled. My immediate family was, for the most part, perfectly normal and boring. We were not prone to outbursts and tantrums. It was very calm and quiet. Everyone got along, and we were pretty happy with our boredom. I tell you that, so you understand that I had absolutely no experience at all with people prone to screaming fits. You should also know that I suffer from a case of terminal morbid curiosity. I also don't give a shit. Never did. Never saw the fun in it. This happened when we were visiting for Great Auntie's funeral. I was 12. Crazy Ann insisted that we all go out to dinner at her favorite Italian restaurant. It was just the best. She said so, and she was never wrong. The gimmick here was a little flag of Italy on the table. When you wanted more dinner rolls, you raised a flag. This is important. Flag up, you get rolls. Flag down, no rolls. Remember that. The 6 of us are seated. They take our drink order and bring the bread basket. The cast has a new member. Poor uncle for my poor long-suffering uncle who will one day be made a saint for being married to Crazy Aunt for over 20 years. Some of you commented in my first post that he was an enabler. He wasn't. He was a victim as well. He couldn't leave her without leaving Emily. It started with a drink order. Crazy Aunt, we will have 5 sweet teas. Dad, I'll have a Coke. Mom, I'll have a Coke. Me, tea, no sugar. This is a mortal sin in the South. Crazy Aunt, don't be silly. You can't have sweet tea without sugar. Me, I don't like sugar. Crazy Aunt, that's stupid. Bring her sweet tea. Waitress, winked at me, yes, ma'am. Poor uncle, I think I'd like a Coke as well. Emily, I'd like a Coke. Crazy Aunt, we drink Pepsi, not Coke. We are having sweet tea. The waitress brought us our requested drinks. Crazy Aunt was growing agitated. Crazy Aunt likes to control everything and everyone. So she told us what to order for dinner. I'm not going to get into an ethical debate here, but I refused to eat veal. She demanded we all have the veal. I refused. I knew this would set her off, but oh well. I'm not eating veal. My parents, after I had explained to them years earlier why I would not eat veal, refused to eat it as well. Did I mention I get my I don't give a shit quality from my parents? Well, they didn't give a shit either. They were perfectly capable of ordering whatever the hell they wanted. So they did. I had lasagna. It was good. My mother's was better. Once we ordered what we wanted, they emboldened PU, and he stepped out of line and ordered something else as well. Crazy Aunt was not having IT. Crazy Aunt, you were getting the veal. Poor uncle. No, I feel like something else tonight. Crazy Aunt, the veal is the best. Poor uncle. I still want something else. Crazy Aunt, you won't like it. Poor uncle, I'm sure I will. Crazy Aunt, you don't know what you're talking about. Poor uncle, I know what I like. Crazy Aunt, well, you can't have it. Poor uncle, yes, I can. Crazy Aunt, I said no. Poor uncle, well, I'm ordering it. Crazy Aunt, you always get the veal. Poor uncle, because it's your favorite and you make me. I don't even like Italian food. Crazy Aunt, yes, you do. It's your favorite. Poor uncle. I want the lasagna. Crazy Aunt. Damn it. PU, order what I tell you to order. Poor uncle, no. Lasagna. Emily. I'll have the lasagna too. Crazy Aunt. You can't have that. You are allergic. Emily, no, I'm not. Crazy Aunt. I'm your mother. I know what you can and can't eat. Crazy Aunt. To the waitress, bring her the veal. The whole time this is going on, I am looking from one to the other like watching a tennis match. Back and forth, with the pitch of her voice getting more and more shrill with each sentence. I was fairly certain that when we left, bats would have been summoned. I'm just watching them and eating a dinner roll. The food arrives, and everyone got what they wanted. Even Emily, much to the fury of Crazy Aunt. That happens. Poor uncle raises the flag. Crazy Aunt puts it down. Poor uncle puts it back up. Crazy Aunt takes it back down. Up and down, up and down. I see the bread guy hovering at the edge of the table, waiting. Flag goes up, and he rushes in to drop off the new basket before it can go back down. Crazy Aunt grabs the basket and throws it at the kid that delivered it. To save time and typing, every time Crazy Aunt speaks, the flag goes down. The rest of the time, it goes up. Crazy Aunt, you don't need any more bread. Poor uncle, but I want more. Crazy Aunt, I said no. Poor uncle, I'm an adult. I can have more bread if I want. Crazy Aunt, no you can't. Poor uncle, why? Just tell me why I can't have more bread. Crazy Aunt, because I said so. You aren't listening to me. Poor uncle, I'm hungry and want more bread. Crazy Aunt, you wouldn't be if you had ordered the veal. Poor uncle. Yes, I would. I always am, but you never let me have more bread. Tonight, I get more. Me. I want some more bread too. Crazy aunt. No, you have had enough. Me. No, I really think I want more. Crazy aunt. Well, you were wrong. Me. You seem upset. Crazy aunt. That's because you people aren't listening to me. Me. Yes, we are. We just don't care. We want more bread. Dad. To me, while trying not to laugh at how absurd this is, you aren't helping. Me. I think you want more bread too. At this point, the whole damn place is watching our table and the battle over the flag. I'm fairly sure there are people taking bets to see who would win. In the middle of the confusion, a nice lady sitting at another table nearest Emily tapped her and slipped their fresh bread basket to her. Emily took a roll and slipped it to me. I took one and slipped it to my father. Then it went to my mother, who, after taking a roll for herself, slipped one on a poor uncle's plate. Crazy Aunt saw it and grabbed for it. Poor uncle was faster. He shoved the whole thing into his mouth at once. It was a big roll. The waitress approached the table to check to see if we needed anything. Xanax was unfortunately not on the menu, and Crazy Aunt demanded she bring the check. Me, I want dessert. Chocolate cake. Poor uncle. Sounds great. I'll have some. Emily, me too. Dad, I'll have apple pie. Mom, I'll have cheesecake. Bring cheesecake for Crazy Aunt. She loves cheesecake. Crazy Aunt, no, we are not having dessert. We are getting the check and leaving. Now, Dad, no, we aren't. Crazy Aunt, well, I'm leaving. You can all walk home. Dad, I drove. It's our car. Crazy Aunt, I know, give me the keys. Dad, no. Crazy Aunt, you have to give me the keys. I live here. You're just visiting. Dad, yes, I'm just visiting. With my family. In our car. Crazy Aunt, it's my state. Dad, I don't care. It's my car and you can't have it. You're a terrible driver anyway. Crazy Aunt, no, I'm not. Dad, you drive the wrong way on the freeway. Crazy Aunt, no, I don't. It's the other cars going the wrong way. Dad, you get lost in your own neighborhood. Crazy Aunt, not always. Dad, you're not driving my car. Crazy Aunt, yes, I am. Dad, no, you aren't. That, ladies and gentlemen, continued while we ate dessert, paid the check my father was buying, as we walked to the car and for the entire trip back to their house. My father drove. We dropped them off and went back to our hotel room. Dad, has your sister always been this crazy? Mom, no. It started when she was about 3. Dad, what happened? Mom, she started speaking in complete sentences. Dad, Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. I finally found it. An argument more stupid than what me and my brother argue over. Comment 2. This is beautiful, especially your mom's response at the end. She started talking in complete sentences. Comment 3. I had lasagna. It was good. My mother's was better. I love it. Food always tastes better from your parents' plate. Now, for our third story. Entitled Karen. My son sexually harassed you? Well, you're supposed to let him. How dare you defend yourself? This happened when I was 15. A boy in my neighborhood would often catcall me and try to grab me. He was around my age. I had told him to leave me alone. I had complained to his parents, but to no avail. When I told my parents about it, they just told me to ignore it. One day, when I was walking home from school, he caught up with me. As usual, he made some filthy comments about my body, things he would do to me, etc. I walked faster in an attempt to lose him. I just wanted to get home, but he grabbed my arm and lifted up my skirt, exposing my underwear. I fucking lost it. I began punching and kicking him with all my strength and with all the rage that had been building up inside me. I didn't stop until someone pulled me off of him. It was his mother. She screamed at me for hurting her little boy and told me she would be speaking to my parents. I said fine and walked home. I knew it would get ugly that evening, but his blood on my knuckles made me feel a little better. That evening when my parents got home, Karen was already waiting beside our front door. Apparently, she had been messaging my parents all day, telling them about the beating. She berated them again in person. The boys will be boys defense was used. Here's the fun part. My parents actually apologized to her and promised her they would discipline me. When she left, I told him my side of the story, but my dad just repeated what he had said earlier, that I should have ignored him. And icing on the cake, he told me if I didn't want to draw the attention of boys, I should lengthen my skirts. Never mind the fact that I had pretty much been assaulted. My mom told me to grow up and be more ladylike, instead of getting into fights with boys. My two brothers, who were younger than me, were much more sympathetic. My 13-year-old brother said he'd get his friends to gang up on him if he ever came near me. Thankfully, it never came to that. The coward never harassed me again. I guess getting beaten up by a girl can really kill a misogynist confidence. Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. What a fucking ass. Disgusting. Also get new parents. Comment 2. Where that bitch come to me after my daughter did what you did, I'd turn to her, honey, did you beat up this kid like the little bitch he is? And after she told me yes, I'd high-five her, turn to the EM, and tell her to either get her predator in training under control, or next time there will be charges filed for sexual assault. I will ruin his life, understood? I never will understand parents not defending their child. Comment 3. It kills all bullies' confidence. That's exactly the rage I used on my bully. M/M. But he was much larger. Thank God you could defend yourself. I love powerful girls and women. We had women and girls in my karate class. Same school as Holly Holm. Made me happy when they'd jump and pop me in the face when sparring. Now, for our fourth story. Entitled mom tells my husband not to order for me or for me to use sign language. Here's a little history of me, so this makes more sense. I'm nonverbal due to an injury and communicate exclusively via writing and sign language, unless I would feel like I'm pouring half-molten nails down my throat. DH, my husband. Ain't chitleed mad. PK, poor kid. I love eating at restaurants. Denny's, Applebee's, little family-owned Mexican and Chinese places, etc. What that means I gotta get my food, which my husband typically orders for me to avoid me playing a game of charades with the waiter/waitress. We were eating out, and apparently this was wrong. So we were getting our food, and this little kid near us, maybe 8 or 9, was watching us since the restaurant was fairly empty. Right after the server leaves, the kid can audibly be heard speaking with his mother, a woman probably in her mid to late 40s. PK, mommy, what about her? EM, she wasn't paying attention, I'd assume. What was that, PK? PK, he ordered for both of them. EM, he what? PK, the girl didn't talk to him. EM, that's not right. Let's go see if there's a reason, PK. At this point, she takes a few steps over towards us, PK in tow. EM, how you two? DH, hello. EM, who is this? She motions towards me. Your girlfriend? DH, close enough. Do you need something? EM, do you do that often? DH, do it often. EM, order for her? DH, all the time. EM, could you please stop that? DH, I'd rather not. E musking miseli. PK, could she not talk? DH, Basica. EM cuts him off. Just don't do it again. I don't want my kid to grow up to be some barbarian. DH, no. Feel free to leave us alone. She leaves with a huff, and that seemed to be it for the night at first. As we got our food, we started talking, signing, both clearly a little confused about what this strange woman's issue was. Now, when I'm saying crazy in sign language, I use the ever-known finger-pointing to head crazy, which I happened to start using right as she reapproached us. EM, what are you two doing? DH, please go away, ma'am. EM, I'm not going to let you teach my kid gang signs. So stop it. DH, we're not teaching anything. It's SI. EM, I don't care what it is. Stop it. Just talk like normal people. She physically put air quotes on the word talk, classy. She soon walked away, and we continued our conversation with her angrily staring at us and trying to shield her kid from the terrific gang signs up until they left. On behalf of all people who don't talk, I'd like to apologize for encouraging gang culture. Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. Entitled mother should go back to school. Comment 2. The correct response here is very loudly saying, look lady for the second time. Do not want to buy your kid. Leave us alone or we will get the police involved. Comment 3. Funny. Had my kid at that age spotted people using sign language and shown interest, and if they looked friendly and open to questions, we would have approached them and introduced ourselves so that she would have the opportunity to meet people who used alternative ways to communicate, not to show off our ignorance. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more.